On behalf of our members, our staff, and over 34,000 people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families throughout Northern Virginia, I am so pleased to welcome you this evening to the Arc of Northern Virginia Goes Hollywood Gala. I am so thrilled to look out over the ballroom this evening and see so many supporters and friends of our organization. Thanks so much to all of you for being here this evening and for supporting the critical work that we do. We are really proud to be an organization that helps people with disabilities and their families throughout the entire lifespan. From the time that a family receives a diagnosis or identifies a developmental delay, to entering the school system and navigating special education and related services, to then getting ready to transition out of the school system into the maze that is adult services for people with disabilities. From finding meaningful employment and learning about housing options, all the way through aging with a disability and aging of the caregiver. The Arc of Northern Virginia is there to provide guidance and assistance at every key transition point. I am really, really proud of the passion and commitment of our outstanding staff team, and I'd like the members of our staff who are in the ballroom and not outside working to please stand so that everyone can see the people who make it happen every day at the Arc of Northern Virginia. Thank you. I am so fortunate to have the most incredible staff team. And now I am so pleased to introduce our board president, Christine Plummer.
As you all know, it takes a dedicated and selfless group of people to provide the right kind of guidance and governance for a nonprofit organization. We have that group of board members who bring a wealth of experience and diversity of perspectives, and who have as their common cause a passion for the work of the Arc of Northern Virginia, and a passion for the community of individuals that the organization serves. Our board members give their time, their talent, their wisdom, and quite a lot of their financial support in order to improve and further our very important work. Tonight, Second Vice President Marissa Laus, board members Chris Nace, Jane Rath, and Judd Stone could not be here, but it is my singular honor to introduce the 2018 board members who are. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing, and please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Board members for 2018, Sherry Belkowitz, Doug Church, Chairman of the Foundation, Sharon Cummings, Beth Curtis, Scott Dolman, First Vice President, David Egan, Matt Evans, Treasurer, Mary Ford, Chair of the Development Committee, Grace Frankie Francis, Chair of the Governance Committee, Edward Green, Matt Leland, immediate past president and chair of the Finance Committee, Elisa Mott, Susan Pollack, Sylvia Sagari, and Michael Thomas, co-chair of tonight's gala. If you could please join me in giving them all a wonderful round of applause. Thank you. We also have a wonderful and talented group of people who are joining our board for 2019 and hopefully beyond. 3 of them are here with us this evening. Please join me in welcoming board member Mark Albert, Elizabeth Lissy John, and John Wyatt. Mark, Lissy, and John, could you please stand? Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. It is truly my good fortune to work with such an august group of individuals. I know I speak for all of us when I say that we are dedicated and committed to the work of the ARC of Northern Virginia for now and into the future. I would like to add my thanks to all of you for coming here tonight and for the gala and for supporting our work. It really means the world to us. Thanks so much. Back to you.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce our celebrity master of ceremonies for this evening. She's a reporter, anchor, and Virginia bureau chief at Washington's CBS affiliate WUSA-TV Channel 9, and a longtime friend of the ARC of Northern Virginia. Please welcome Peggy Fox.
So good to be here tonight. Good evening and welcome to the ARC of Northern Virginia. Goes Hollywood. You feel Hollywood? Are you feeling Hollywood? I've seen a lot of outfits out there, a lot of gowns looking very Hollywood right over here. Anyway, I'm just thrilled to be your MC once again. I love this organization and I'm so pleased to be here tonight with all of you. This is an incredible organization. The ARC of Northern Virginia's mission is so important. As Ricky said, I've been a friend of the ARC for at least more than a decade. I covered the story when this organization led the way in getting rid of the R word, all right? Led the way. This organization has been groundbreaking, really, and self-advocacy and everything. You know, the ARC of Northern Virginia's mission is so important to help ensure that people with disabilities have equal rights, respect, and, say it with me, a life like yours. So also, as I get older, most of the time I'm running into people and things that are younger than me, so it is so refreshing to highlight something that's older than me by a few years. The ARC of Northern Virginia is 56 years old. It started by a group of parents and families, and get this, you may not know this number, this is an incredible number. The ARC of Northern Virginia represents over 34,000 families. That is incredible. Provides a wide range of programs, resources, and services that allow people with intellectual and developmental disabilities to actively participate in the community here in Northern Virginia, and really the whole region, right? I was born in Fairfax Hospital, raised in Springfield, and I am proud to join all of you. Yay, Springfield! Yay! I'm really proud to join all of you in recognizing and celebrating this organization that helps so many people in our community. And it is through your generous support that the ARC of Northern Virginia can continue to provide direct services, education, and advocacy to ensure that quality programs and supports, so necessary, those supports, that they continue in the community and grow.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to be able to present this award. In celebration of October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month, the ARC of Northern Virginia is recognizing two companies who have demonstrated exceptional dedication to providing employment opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The first 2018 Commitment to Employment for Persons with Disabilities award goes to AMC Theaters. AMC Theater chain, yay! The AMC Theater chain is owned and operated by Wanda Group. They were founded in 1920 and have the largest share of the American theater market, with over 8,200 screens and 661 theaters in the United States. Team diversity is a key component of AMC's culture. FOCUS, which is an acronym that stands for Furthering Opportunities, Cultivating Untapped Strengths, is AMC's employment outreach program that partners with local, state, and national agencies to employ people with disabilities in their theaters. Focus began in 2010 through a partnership between AMC Entertainment and the Autism Society of America. And the main objectives were to go beyond compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, to remove barriers for employment for individuals with autism, to replicate the program in all AMC theaters nationwide, and to eventually include other disability groups beyond individuals with autism, which they have done. Focus uses a hiring process that takes into consideration the extra support that some individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities may need. It provides access to opportunities for competitive employment, good wages, and benefits. Feedback on the program has been very favorable. 90% of managers ranked associates with disabilities at meeting job requirements or higher, and hired through Focus, associates hired through Focus, have been described by many AMC managers as great employees, punctual, hardworking, leaders, and inspirational to others. In our area, AMC Tyson 16 has embraced the Focus program and has brought many employees with disabilities on board. It is our honor to recognize AMC Theaters this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Glenn Grundy, General Manager of AMC Tyson's Corner 16, who will accept the award on behalf of AMC Theaters.
Thank you so much. First, would like to thank Diane and Ricky from the Arc of Northern Virginia for the honor of being here and for inviting us. Not sure how they know everything we're doing, but we're honored that they do and that they let you guys know about it. The Focus program is fairly amazing, part of what AMC does. I think I would summarize it in just saying it teaches us to do the right thing, and it's not that complicated. I'm honored to have Marcella Baca, who is now a general manager at Loudon, and Jen Phones, who is my HR manager at the theater, who are compassionate and amazing participants in the program and have really helped the program grow. We currently have 9 candidates in the program, and on a staff of 50, that represents literally almost 20% of our staff, so I'm pretty proud to share that number with you. Just a couple quick highlights so I don't take too long, but I'd like to mention Alyssa Kane, who started with us, and I've worked with her the entire time since October of 2008. She's been there for 10 years, so that's quite a story. She now lives on her own and takes care of her cat, and that's quite an achievement that we're proud of. And then we have many others, but David, who only calls me boss, I appreciate him making me feel good every day. Everybody needs that. You should try that. It's great. And Lisa Lewis, who asks me every time I see her if I had a blessed weekend, and no matter how crazy the weekend had been, it always feels good to see her, so we appreciate that. Quickly want to tell you that I do all this with a friend of mine in mind. I met a friend when I was 5 years old who had a developmental disability. He taught me about loyalty, about being a best friend, about being a teammate, and about being an assistant coach, and I'm still friends with him today, and I think somewhere in the back of my mind, what we're trying to do is a tribute and an honor to him. He's one of the smartest people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, so thank God for him. He was a great guy. Dennis Reese. And then just to wrap up on a personal note, I want to thank the whole team at AMC. There's a bunch of amazing managers and supervisors that support this program. There's many first-time employees that have never worked jobs before that show respect and integrity and help all of our associates. I've watched one Focus candidate help train another. I think that's a phenomenal thing to witness and be part of as well. My mother, my father, and my sister taught me growing up to help people. They're all teachers, and they spent their whole lives helping others, and especially those with disabilities, so I appreciate that. And I'd like to close by saying my beautiful wife, who was crazy enough to marry me just about a year ago, she's prettier than me, she's smarter than me, and she helps me problem solve all the time, so I appreciate that. Every day when I'm having challenges, she reminds me to have a Tigger day, so I hope there's some Winnie the Pooh fans out there. And if any of our kids or our associates that we hired were having an Eeyore day, then I hope we gave them a Tigger day and maybe a bit of a Tigger life as we move forward. So thank you for having us tonight, we appreciate it.
second presentation, I'm very pleased to introduce David Egan. He is a member of the ARC of Northern Virginia Board of Directors. Please welcome David Egan. Round of applause. David, was it a good dinner? A+ for the dinner?
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Peggy Fox, for your remarks. Before I start, how's everyone doing this evening? Now, I can see out here what the real Hollywood stars are all about. It's not people like me up here, although you may say that, but I think it's all of you that make us stars, wherever they may be. So for that, let's give all of you a round of applause. Good evening. I'm honored as a person with over 20 years of experience in competitive employment to present the second Commitment to Employment of Persons with Disabilities Award. Employment is a defining aspect of adult life. It connects us to full participation and inclusion in our communities. It fosters a sense of self-worth and opens opportunities for social growth and leads to greater independence. It is more than just a paycheck. It gives us purpose, dignity, and a life like everyone else. Employing individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities is also a smart business decision and a social responsibility. Workers with disabilities are reliable employees, will increase diversity in the workplace, and have an overall higher job retention rate. Tonight, the second 2018 Commitment to Employment of Persons with Disabilities Award goes to PwC. PwC, also known as PricewaterhouseCoopers, is a multinational professional service network. It is the largest professional services firm in the world and is one of the Big Four auditors. PwC helps individuals and organizations by delivering assurance, tax, and advisory services. For many years, PwC has been a leading employer of people with disabilities throughout the country and in the Northern Virginia area. PwC believes that people with disabilities are an important demographic group for businesses to connect with in order to attract, retain, and develop talented professionals. By focusing on inclusion and talent strategies, PwC is building personal connections with all of their employees and strengthening their brand in the marketplace. They believe that professionals with disabilities are important, team members, and valuable contributors to the growth of the company. Through PwC, ability reveals itself. Neurodiversity and Professionals with Disability Network initiatives. Individuals with autism and other disabilities have been employed nationwide and here in the Northern Virginia area. It is our honor this evening to recognize PwC as a leader in opening doors for people with disabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Carrie Schroeder, PwC Manager of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, who will accept this award.
Hi everyone, thank you for this recognition. It's an honor. PwC is committed to disability inclusion and continuing our journey, so thank you very much.
I'd like to share with you how my wife Karen, who's sitting over here, and I became involved with the ARC of Northern Virginia. We are blessed to have two wonderful sons. Our youngest son, Drew, was born with a rare de Morzay syndrome. Early on, he exhibited severe intellectual and cognitive disabilities, seizure disorder, and bilateral hearing loss. All of these later manifested as a self-injurious behavior at a very young age. Looking back now on those early days, I wish we would have known about the ARC of Northern Virginia back then. Drew later did qualify for early intervention services through Fairfax County and started in the program at the age of 2. Early intervention, we know what it means now. We understand what it entails now, but back then, I wish we had known about the ARC of Northern Virginia. While Drew did attend and receive support in public schools, it was determined that a higher level of services and support were necessary to address his exceptional needs. Higher level services and support, what does that mean? It was as if people were speaking another language at that time. I wish we would have known about the ARC of Northern Virginia then. For 8 years, our son attended a residential school setting designed to address his complex needs in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, 4.5 hours from our home in Fairfax Station. Then in 2014, Karen and I were faced with the challenging and daunting task that many parents face of transitioning our son to a community setting closer to home. This is where the ARC of Northern Virginia came into our lives. We reached out for help in navigating the complex issues and hard to identify limited resources for our son. The ARC of Northern Virginia was so helpful in providing direction and guidance about what to ask for, how to better advocate for our son, and with this help, we were able to identify a wonderful community setting and staff that has provided a supportive environment for our son. We are so glad that Drew is now only a few miles from our home instead of hundreds of miles away. However, building and sustaining a team of medical specialists and services for him is difficult, and sometimes even more difficult. After transitioning Drew back home, we had a very demeaning and disrespectful experience with one doctor and were abruptly discharged by another doctor. We needed to quickly identify an alternative neurologist and general practitioner. This time, we knew who to turn to. We turned to the ARC of Northern Virginia. They referred and connected us with 2 competent physicians who were considerate, knowledgeable, and experienced in caring for individuals with special needs. This organization has truly made the quality of our son's life better. I just wish we would have known about the ARC of Northern Virginia sooner. As I've become more involved in the organization, I find that my wife and I are not alone in that sentiment. As I share our stories with other families, I often hear the same statement parroted back at me. We love the ARC of Northern Virginia, we only wish we heard of them sooner. I'm looking around the room here tonight and I'm seeing some heads nod in agreement. I'm proud to stand here and to tell you that the people who know the ARC of Northern Virginia are pleased with our work. There's a great affinity and affection for the organization and how we have helped in real, tangible, life-affirming ways. We're doing great work, but the great work remains largely out of the spotlight, to coin a Hollywood themed phrase. Being a responsible board member means looking strategically at how to advance our movement. How do we ensure that all people with intellectual and developmental disabilities have the opportunity to live a life like yours? Our obstacle is serving more people, is getting more people to know about us. I am excited to announce that the ARC of Northern Virginia will launch a comprehensive public relations campaign in 2019 to help overcome this obstacle. The goal of the campaign is to bring awareness about the ARC of Northern Virginia and our program and services to thousands of people throughout the region. Some of you may recall our online digital marketing campaign announced at the 2016 Gala. Thanks to the generous support of donors that night, we were able to produce a 30-second commercial and place the commercial online and on cable television programming seen all across the service area. It was an excellent start. Now we want to expand our efforts and build on our success. Our campaign has two approaches. First, we want to place block ads and submit editorial content in local media directed specifically to disability services audiences. As one example, we will purchase a block ad on the adaptive recreation pages in Park Takes, Fairfax County's Authority's quarterly magazine distributed to thousands of households throughout Fairfax County. Second, the campaign calls for a broader public visibility appeal, concentrated during Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in March. In addition to our 30-second commercial, which is still viable and relevant, and in addition to online and social media, we're looking at bus placards. Metro station signage, movie theater screens, and other high visibility ways to put our name, our logo, and our message in front of as many eyes as possible. In order to do this, we need your help tonight. Our goal this evening is to raise funds to cover this investment and to help deliver our message and create awareness throughout the month of March. If we do extremely well, we can expand the campaign to include a second wave to coincide with National Disabilities Employment Awareness Month next month, October. The Arc of Northern Virginia has an important story to tell. We have people who need our help. We have families to serve. We have hearts and minds to engage in our advocacy programs. We just need to let them know we exist sooner and now. To begin our campaign in 2019, our goal this evening is to raise at least $15,000 that will cover the targeted ads in the first phase of our broad-reaching campaign. But the more money we raise, the more impressions we can make, and the longer we can extend the campaign throughout Northern Virginia. I'm now pleased to turn things back over to our auctioneer, DJ Cox, and I appreciate your support in advance. Thank you.